Well, good morning, everyone, and grand rising. My name is Dr. Alice Reid, and I am spiritual director here at Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. And this morning it's an auspicious morning. It really is. It is our last Sunday in this wonderful building that we have called home. And so I know that there are many of you. I was not with you when you bought this building, but I certainly here as we move forward, and we walk together side by side as we move through this. Our annual theme this year is Rising Higher and Growing Deeper. And our monthly theme for today is Fertilizing Our Future. And I don't know why I continually be amazed at the way the themes that some group of individuals sat down and decided to write sometime last year in 2024 always seem to fit perfectly with where we are as a community, where I am personally. You may find that they work for you personally. It's pretty amazing to me. Today we're talking about visioning beyond the horizon. And so I'm going to weave all of this together as we gather here today. So I want to wish happy Passover to those that might be honoring that holiday. That is actually last night was Passover, and that is the time that Jews get together to commemorate the last evening before they entered and embarked on the Exodus to leave oppression in slavery in Egypt to embark on a new future for themselves. And today is also recognized by Catholics and Christians around the world as Palm Sunday. And that day is meant to remember the mythological or historical Jesus that rode into Jerusalem, and it's 5 days before his crucifixion. And when he rode into Jerusalem, he was greeted with palms that were thrown at his feet as he rode in on a humble donkey, and the Israelites and Jewish people were excited because they thought this person was going to bring them out of the oppression of the Romans who were occupying the land. And both stories tell a story about beginning a journey with lots of hope and maybe some fear and some trepidation. Both stories symbolize the beginning of a journey. And so it is not lost on me, the symbolism of these two holidays happening right now as we begin to embark on a journey of our own. Because today, after this service, we begin our new adventure. And it is an adventure because we don't quite know where we're going, much like the Israelites who were leaving Egypt. They didn't quite know where they were going, but they knew it was God ordained that they were to leave and they were to enter into this journey into the desert. We have indeed, at least we know we're going to be temporarily. So it's not like just in case I've got your blood pressure up. We do know where we're going to be in the short term. We will be meeting on Sundays at the San Clemente Baha'i Center. There are directions on the main landing page of our website. In the back by the treasure chest, we have these postcards now. You can take these, put them on your refrigerator. It has what's happening with the dates. It has the 2 addresses. We'll be meeting on Sundays at the Baha'i Center, and then we will be meeting during the week in some rented office and small group space. And so we do know where we're going to be in the short term. We do have some transitional space. However, we don't know where our permanent home will be. Or maybe I should change that to where our next long-term place will be. Right, because is anything permanent these days? There was a little Facebook group that I belonged to, if you grew up in Maryland, and they were asking, like, what are some of your favorite restaurants? And I listed all these restaurants, and I realized they'd all closed. Like, things are, that's... I once heard about a man who had a tattoo on his arm. It said, impermanence. Right? The irony of that. Impermanence. Yeah, there's change is part of our life now. It has been, at least for in the world I'm living in, change happens at a much faster pace than it used to. And I seem to, just to give you a little background, because not all of you entered this promised land in 2012 when we bought this building. So, and I'm not sure of the exact date, but from what I can see in the files, it looks like about 15 years ago, there was a program that you started called A Home We Could Own. Did I lose my, there we go, The Home We Could Own. And this community began to look for, we're renting space in San Juan, and this community began to look for a permanent home they could own. And there was some visioning that happened and some meetings, and the board was working on it. And I found this vision statement that I want to share with you that I'm pretty sure was written sometime in the past. I can't tell you exactly when. And it was the vision statement for our spiritual home. Surrounded by a beautiful natural garden, our new spiritual home feels sacred, joyful, peaceful, welcoming, spacious, and airy, with plenty of room for individual expression and community growth. And when this building was located, it didn't quite meet all of those prerequisites. And so the group that you were back in 2011, 2012 decided that this would be a stepping stone to that vision, that this building would be a place for this community to invest in while still holding that larger vision. Fast forward to somewhere around 2015, 2016, 2017, when the community began to consider selling this building. There was a broker that was hired. There was actually a buyer that was identified. That didn't quite go. There was some problems with the deal. So this community decided to not sell it to that buyer. And then things started happening, right? As life does, change happens. And so I'm just kind of the history as I know it, because I'm sure many of you know it much more intimately than me. But as I know it, there are things that started to happen as this potential buyer didn't work out. Change continued to happen. So we had the opportunity, and I know it was a sad opportunity, to release Reverend Patty Mercado, because she got a wonderful job as the senior minister in Huntington Beach, and that happened somewhere around 2019. And then 2020 rolled around, and we kind of all know what happened in 2020. We found ourselves faced with a global pandemic and dealing with all of that. And then in 2021, your senior minister, Dr. Heather, retired. And then you had to search high and low. Search high and low for your new minister. And we found each other. And we found each other. Yes, it is my joy that we found each other. And I wasn't here too long. I guess I was here a couple of years when we got not one, but two unsolicited offers to buy this building. It was around 2023. Out of the blue, we're not talking about selling the building at all. We get these two unsolicited offers. They didn't pan out. They weren't solid offers. One of them was really squirrely. It's amazing what people will suggest. We'll buy the building from you, but you keep running everything upstairs and pay us a lot of rent. I don't know about that. But what happened from that experience, and I'm tying all this in, but so follow along with me. What happened from that experience is we began to talk about selling the building again. And we began to explore what that would mean. And so in 2024, we got serious about that. And of course, in December of 2024, the current people who will take ownership of this building on Thursday came forward. That's the Zion Church of San Clemente. Beautiful Christian community. We've been working with them. They're lovely people. And I feel like we have prepared the way for them. If I had any extra energy, I would lay palms as they came into the sanctuary for them, because I really am excited for them. Just like I'm sure the same kind of excitement and zeal that we felt when we bought this building. I'm watching them as they come by with architects and getting bids and things like that, that I can see the excitement for that community. And I share all this to say that the thing that's interesting to me with all those changes is that I think all of this started with this vision statement. There was visioning that happened, and there was time that we took to contemplate and prayer and meditate and do our spiritual practice. And because we sowed the seeds, we sowed the seeds of this vision sometime 15 years ago. That vision has held us. We have carried it, and it has carried us to this moment. That even when we thought it was a thing of the past, it came to revisit us again through the unsolicited offers. It came to visit us again as we went through a couple of real estate brokers. It came to revisit us when in 2023, we had a town hall meeting, and I asked you all, what do you want? And you said, everything. I want it all. And I respect that, because we have an amazing community. We have amazing volunteers. We have amazing staff. We have an amazing music program. We have so much to offer as a community to each other. Of course we want it all. And so this vision that we have planted continues to work us. And it will continue to work us as we step into the unknown on this adventure into the pathway or the journey. I don't want to call it the desert. We won't be there for 40 years, I promise. I promise we will not be there for 40 years. But the other thing that happened, we're talking about visioning beyond the horizon. That's the topic today. We have to be willing to vision beyond what we think we know. We have to be willing to vision beyond what we think in our mortal minds, our highest ideas. Like, there is a larger idea that is held in the heart and the mind of the one infinite reality, and is going to express itself by means of this community. We have a little group that visions every Tuesday morning. Every Tuesday morning, like clockwork, we meet 20, 30 minutes, and we vision. And the spiritual practice of visioning is a little different than like creating a vision statement in a business setting, where you sit and you brainstorm and you come up with some, and use your imagination. When we vision, we drop all our mortal ideas, and we find ourselves in a place of deep receivership, of deep listening to Spirit. And we're going to continue to do that practice as we step into our transitional space. And I have to tell you, if you are sitting here saying, boy, that Dr. Alice, she's so amazing. She found us this place in Baha'i Center. No, this has been, there has been some effort. There's been some footwork, but there's been no master plan. It has found us. This place that we're going to be sharing space with the Baha'i Center, they are a beautiful group of people, and their philosophy dovetails beautifully with ours. There's some differences. Now, I want to tell you, if you decide you want to become a Baha'i, that's cool, but we're still going to be religious scientists. We're going to meet at the Baha'i Center, but we're still going to be religious scientists. We're still going to practice this philosophy. We're still going to practice our principles. We're still going to look at our declaration of principles and our global vision. We're going to hold all of that as we rent space at the Baha'i Center. And everybody I've talked to at the Baha'i Center is so excited about us coming. They're looking forward to getting to know us. And I put together a couple of things about the Baha'i Center that I wanted to share with you. Kind of know who you're going to go on this date with. It's not quite a blind date. They are relatively new, like us. They formed less than 200 years ago, and they follow what they refer. They were actually originated in Iran, and they're. I want to use the right terminology. They don't call Baha'u'llah a prophet. They refer to him or her or them as a divine educator. Isn't that a wonderful phrase? A divine educator. So Baha'u'llah founded the Baha'i movement and, as they put it, revealed over 100 sacred texts. And one of the main texts that they work with is called the Book of Certitude. And they believe that there is only one God, and that it expresses itself through all religions, and that at some point these religions will find their commonality. That is the ideal that they hold. And so when we do our flames of faith, it's very similar to their idea of this one God that shows itself through all the different religions and spiritual paths. So if we go onto their website, they've identified these spiritual principles in which humanity may, with divine assistance, establish lasting peace. They believe that there is oneness in all humanity, that independent investigation of truth is one of their principles, elimination of prejudice, nobility of each human being, equality of men and women, harmony between science and religion. I mean, is this sounding a little familiar to you? Universal education, spiritually guided solutions to economic inequality, justice and equity as foundations for world peace. So this community that we're going to be collaborating with shares a lot of the same ideals and a lot of the same values that we do. And so we're going to be on this little adventure for a while. We're going to learn more about them. They're going to learn more about us. And I'm pretty certain that when we don't have a 24/7 space, we're going to figure out really quickly what we want in our new spiritual home. And it's going to help advise us about how we want to move forward. There's this beautiful quote. It's one of my favorite. I remember the first time I heard it. It's so short and sweet, but it packs a punch. We walk by faith and not by sight. We walk by faith and not by sight. It's a piece of scripture. And for me, it really epitomizes this journey that we're about to go on, where We know we're going to be safe. We know that we have a safe landing. We know we're going to continue to look for our new home. And I wonder, as I think about these two parallel stories, the story of Passover and the story of Palm Sunday, I wonder if many of those people didn't feel a lot of the same emotions you might be feeling. Leaving the familiar, not having full of hope, maybe full of a little fear, maybe having a lot of questions that aren't answered. But what we know from those stories what we know is that in both of those stories, there is this place, this landing place that these communities found themselves in. And even in the Palm Sunday story, and I'll talk more about this next week, so you have to come to the Baha'i Center next week so I can share the rest of the story. But what we know about the Palm Sunday and the story of Jesus before his crucifixion is he knew the transformation that he was stepping into. The people thought it was a liberation from human limitation, and yet, as we know the story, it was liberation from all limitation. And so let us shed our fear. Let us let go of any perceived limitation. Let us hold each other dear and take each other as we move forward on this adventure together. We are into new things. We're evolving our community. We will learn a lot about each other. We'll learn about other people. We'll begin to stretch our community footprint out into the greater community. It does hold a lot of promise for us. And I am so grateful that I am walking this path with each one of you. And we will walk by faith and not by sight. And the pathway will continue to unfold before us, much like it has so far. When we bought this building, the president of Centers for Spiritual Living was here, and he went through the building and with a group of individuals, and they blessed every single room. And so today, after the service, our own practitioner, Tony Sparks, will offer that same exercise where we will bless and hold gratitude for every room as we make our way across the threshold and welcome another spiritual family to be in this place. It is the epitome, it is the beautiful demonstration of the cycle of life that is always recreating itself. And so we have an opportunity to recreate ourselves as well. And so, if you're with me, are you ready for our new adventure? Yeah? Okay. Make sure to get a postcard. Keep the little business cards. Make sure you find us. Always go to our website, cslcv.org, if you have any question about where to be at what time. We have a wonderful adventure in front of us, and I thank you for taking this journey with me. Thank you so much. Oh, so let us close this portion of our service with prayer. Spiritual mind treatment, it is the thing that we do together. It is the thing that makes us religious scientists. It is the thing that helps us to practice what we teach. And so I invite you to close your eyes or lower your gaze. As we open our hearts and open our minds to the greater revelation of the one infinite reality that wants to express itself as each one, that wants to express itself as this community, that wants to express itself in all life forms. And as we allow ourselves to remember that beautiful connection that we have with Spirit, that connection that has never, ever been broken, can't be diminished, can't be destroyed. It is an energetic connection of the one as us. And so I know for each one that we hold ourselves ready and available for our new adventure, that we walk by faith and not by sight, that we trust in the power of our daily spiritual practice. We trust in the power of visioning. We trust in the power of meditation. All of those practices bring us back to this now moment. When we walk out what is ours to do and ours to be in each moment. So in this space that we have created here this morning, I know that we hold this building in deep gratitude for all that it has given us. We breathe into that feeling of appreciation for all we have given these four walls and this roof, this place that has held spiritual family for so long, knowing that it has been a good investment, it has served us well. We have said hello to new faces. We have bid farewell in one form or another to beloved community members. All of it is in divine right order and perfection. As the divine intelligence moves us forward into our future, we trust it. We surrender to it. We know it is God because it's all good. And we simply anchor this prayer by saying together, and so it is. Oh, thank you so much.